From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
It's Thursday, May 26, 2016, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. Good morning, I'm Wayne Alley. Glad you're with us today. Well, let's see now. Kate and Pat are back in the studio looking for me, and this morning I am on assignment. Thanks for being with us. Hope you're doing well today. We're closely approaching that weekend. Starting the day off today with some clouds in the area that's soon going to just all go away. Yes, it will. We have a high today of about 85 degrees, a high of about 85 in the mid-80s. Later on today, it's just going to be warm, so dress accordingly. A far cry from what we had last week with all that cool weather, the cool temperatures, and all that rain. But this week, the weather has been increasingly better. The temperature is moving up, lots of sunshine. Let's talk about Center Street Jam. Next week, the Center Street Jam features Spare Change. That's next Thursday evening, June 2nd. Downtown Goldsboro at the John Street parking lot beginning at 6 p.m. Hope you're able to make that. It is absolutely free of charge. What a wonderful event that is. Wayne County employees having a blood drive coming up on June 9th. That will be at 10 o'clock until 2:30 in the p.m. 10 till 2:30. That will be at the Red Cross office on North George Street. And if you want to know more about that, anybody who wants to know more about it, giving blood, can go to two places. Number one, go to redcrossblood.org, redcrossblood.org. Put in your zip code and you'll get a list of available blood drives in your area. Or you can just simply call the Red Cross office to get more information, and that number is 919-735-7201, 919-735-7201. Well, look where we are. This morning we're at the Wayne County Public Library in front of their community garden right off Jackson Street. Wayne County Public Library at 1001 East Ash Street. You pull right in off of Jackson Street and boom, you pull in beside this community garden here. And in just a moment, I'm going to tell you about this community garden, give you a little history about it. How's that? Does that work? Very good, very good. Today's the 25th, okay? Today is Nerd Pride Day, or it's also known as Geek Pride Day, and I left my geek glasses back in the studio. But anyway, besides all that, it's also, for some reason, it's Towel Day. I know, Towel Day. It's also Eat More Fruits and Veggies Day. All right, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Eat more fruits and veggies. And Red Nose Day. How about that? Is that right? Red Nose Day? It is. Oh, it's also World Lindy Hop Day. Now, most of you probably don't know what the Lindy Hop is, but back in 1927, Mr. Lindbergh, Charles, Chucky, the Big C, took off from New York City and flew across the Atlantic Ocean, and for the first time, a solo flight from New York to Paris. And he was awarded lots of money and big prizes and all this kind of stuff. But see, it was a contest. It was a contest put on by one of the major newspapers there in New York City. And it was not the first person to fly across the Atlantic, because that had already been done. Did you know that? It had already been done. Sure. And in 1927, when Lindbergh flew across, the prize was from flying from New York to Paris, not just going across the Atlantic. Anyway, he did it in the spirit of St. Louis. Great movie. Jimmy Stewart starred in that movie about Charles Lindbergh. Yeah, he did. Anyway, he did that. Great movie. But I digress. Let's get back to business, okay? All right, here we are at the community garden. I'll tell you more about it in just a few minutes. Okay, and we've got our trivia question coming up. Don't miss that as well. I have no idea what the category is, but we'll figure it out. How's that? Okay? Okay. June 13th. You know, last week, or 2 weeks ago, in fact, Sherwood Williford was at the Wayne County Museum, and he was telling his tale about a notorious Wayne County murder, describing what happened in great detail, and did a great job with that. Now, coming up June 13th, The next notorious Wayne County murder story will be told by Mr. David Wheel himself. And that will be taking place also at the Wayne County Museum at 116 North William Street in Goldsboro, and that begins at 7 p.m. that evening. All right? Yeah, don't miss that one. Okay, that's going to be a lot of fun. Goldsboro Family-Wide Diabetes Prevention Program getting underway. 1 out of 3 U.S. adults, 1 out of 3. That's a lot of people. 1 out of 3 U.S. adults has pre-diabetes, and only 10% know it. Now, what are you going to do about that? Get it checked. Get it checked. That's very important. You know, diabetes, that's really a dangerous disease. It sneaks up on you. You don't even know you have it. Sneaks up on you, and by the time you realize you have it, the damage is done. So get that checkup. Arrington and Dudley Volunteer Fire Departments this Saturday having their big 9th annual Sportsman's Giveaway. That's at the Wayne Regional Fairgrounds. Lots of prizes, lots of big prizes, in fact. Lots of cash, sporting equipment. Oh, man. Okay, what else do we have here? Today's the 26th. The Wayne County Veterans and Patriots Coalition meeting tonight right down the street here at 6 p.m. at the Veterans Services Office. That's at 2001D East Ash Street, 2001D. The Veterans and Patriots Coalition. All right, you don't have to be a veteran to be a part of this, but if you're a patriot, then you're invited to join. This Saturday, Memorial Day events, the breakfast served at the American Legion Post 11, followed by flag placement on veterans' graves. That begins at 0800. That's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock this Saturday at the American Legion Post 11. That's just south of the fairgrounds here on Highway 117 in Goldsboro. All right, when we come back, we're going to have our trivia question for you. We'll also take a look at this community garden. Have a look at, and we'll tell you why it's here. All right, that's coming up next. Now let's go to our interview.
Today we're talking with Stefanie Garbacik, who is you are the agent for animals and stuff like that. What do you call that?
The livestock agent.
Livestock agent. That's what I meant to say. She's a livestock agent for the County of Wayne. We're here at the Cooperative Extension office, and we're talking to Stefanie. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you
Good.
doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
So what's on the agenda today to talk about?
The biggest thing I want to make sure everybody knows about is we have an upcoming workshop on June 9th. Here at the Wayne Center at 7 p.m. It's about backyard chickens. So anybody who's just starting with chickens or who's, pretty much a beginner class is what we're aiming for this one.
This is a beginner class. Entry level.
Entry level,
So,
yes, sir.
Okay, so if you're a novice chicken
Owner.
thank you.
Yes. Yep, that's who we're looking for, because we're going to talk about the rules, how many chickens can you have, how many are you not supposed to have.
Are you limited? The backyard.
It depends on where you are. If you're in the city limits of Goldsboro, we have certain rules, and if you're in the county lines, we have different rules. So we'll talk about those at the meeting.
Wow. Okay.
So we'll talk about those. We'll talk about what sort of housing you might want to have for your chickens. There's all kinds of options out there.
Okay.
So,
where they can roost, in other
Right.
words. Right.
Right.
You have to have a chicken coop, if you will.
Exactly. Yeah. Somewhere for them to sleep. Somewhere for them to lay eggs.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I do that a lot.
Sleep.
Lay eggs.
Oh, okay. That was my next guess.
Okay. Anyway. So when is this event?
It'll be June 9th, 7 p.m. here at the Wayne Center.
At Wayne Center?
Yes.
Which is at the corner of George and Chestnut Street.
Right.
Downtown Goldsboro.
Exactly.
At what time again?
7 p.m.
On June
9th.
9th. All right. What day of the week is that?
I think it's a Thursday. I believe it's
Check
a
your calendar there.
Thursday.
We're going to check our
just
calendar.
check.
It is a Thursday. We're told
It
by
is a Thursday,
by a
yep.
calendar expert behind us here.
Yep.
It is a Thursday.
Thursday,
Okay.
June 9th.
Okay. Tell me about chickens. How difficult are chickens to raise?
They're not too bad once you get them past the really small stage. So when they're a couple days old, you do have to make sure they're warm enough. That's the biggest thing. But once they're old enough to go outside, your biggest problem is going to be keeping those predators under control, because there are, there's foxes,
Coyotes and
sometimes
foxes,
big
yeah.
owls might get the little ones.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful with the predator part.
How do you protect chickens from owls and coyotes and...
Putting some sort of screen across the top
Across
of your
the top,
coop,
okay.
yeah, so it's at least enclosed, is probably your safest, cheapest option, just to make sure.
Is there a rule of thumb for the number of chickens you have per square foot?
There is.
I thought so.
There is.
And we don't know what it is right now.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Okay, no, it's nothing there.
Right.
So,
but we'll talk about that at the meeting.
We'll talk
also.
about that at the meeting on June 9th, which happens to be a Thursday night at 7 o'clock at Wayne Center, corner of George and Chestnut Streets in Goldsboro.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are some chickens better suited to this area than others?
For the area, not so much. You can pretty much raise any chickens here.
Really?
The biggest thing would be, do you want them for meat or do you want them for eggs?
Ah, okay.
So that would be the hardest decision probably, is figuring out, okay, do I want them for eggs or do I want them for meat birds? So there's different breeds for those.
Okay, so there's different breeds for some are better egg layers,
yeah,
and some are better
meat birds.
Meat birds. Okay,
exactly.
All right. So if a chicken is from Rhode Island and he's red all over, then it doesn't really matter. He'll grow here fine.
Right. Exactly.
He just has to learn to speak the language.
Right.
All right. Because so how many different breeds of chicken? I know there's got to be hundreds.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch, especially if you talk about like the heritage breeds, which are the older breeds.
Yes.
So they haven't changed a whole lot. They've got breed registries, all kinds. There's a bunch of them. I could not name all the chicken breeds for you.
Wow.
There's a lot.
Well, okay, so heritage chickens are, I would guess, are a bit more expensive than just your regular.
They are, and you'd have to make sure the hatchery you're going with, so wherever you're ordering your birds from or buying them from, carries the breed you want. They'll have the really common ones often, and lots of them. But if you want those heritage ones, like you said, more expensive and a little bit harder to find.
So what sort of places like that are there? How many places are there like that to buy birds? And how do they come? Do they come in eggs or?
A lot of them. I would probably advise, if you don't have an incubator and you don't have any experience with eggs, just go ahead and order them from a hatchery. A lot of them are online, and if anybody wants to know some reputable ones, they can just give us a call and we can figure that out.
Okay.
But ordering them as already hatched birds, they're 3 to 4 days old, is probably your best bet. And they'll ship them right to the post office. The post office will call you when they're here.
Really?
And you go pick up your chicks.
They come to the post office.
They do.
They ship through the mail.
Yes.
Chickens.
I'm guessing they come on a really fast truck, but they come in a box that's got air holes. It's got some straw on the bottom for them to keep warm. Yeah. And you just pick them up as soon as they get there.
You used to call them biddies. They're still biddies?
Yes. Okay. They still are.
You can get little bitty biddies in the mail. So you can order chickens in the mail. Now, do roosters come with this?
They can. Depending on the hatchery, you might be able to say, I only want females or I only want roosters, but a lot of times you'll end up with a mix. It's not necessarily a 50-50 mix, but you chances are you're going to end up with some roosters in there, and you'll have to figure out what you want to do with those.
Chances are. Okay. What do you separate them?
They're fine, especially when they're little growing up, and just until they mature. Once you hear them the roosters start crowing and stuff, you'll either want to keep one with them so you can get fertile eggs, or you may want to find someone who wants that rooster to eat.
Can you have too many roosters?
You can, especially if they're going to be fighting. So roosters obviously are territorial, and they want to keep their hens to themselves. So one rooster for 10 hens is probably pretty good.
Okay.
You could have a little bit more hens. If you've got an older rooster or a mature rooster, 15 is probably fine. But after that, you probably would want to separate or have another rooster. But
so you could have 10 to 15 hens in one
and one
pen,
rooster
and one rooster, and then have another pen.
Right, of 10 to 15 and a separate rooster.
Rooster.
Yeah. So then you won't have to worry about those roosters fighting that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they are territorial, aren't
they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Are roosters aggressive where they attack you? I remember when I was a kid, boy, they got all over me.
They can be, especially if they're not used to people. So if you bought like an adult rooster, they can be. Yeah,
Okay,
it kind of depends on the personality.
Be careful around them. Okay. Yeah. Until you figure them out.
Right.
Do hens make good pets?
A lot of people say they do.
Really?
Yes. A lot of people have their favorite hen in their, in their coop that'll follow them around
Matilda,
or let them hold them.
Or Gertrude.
Yes. Yeah, they've got names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. They name them.
So lots of people seem to really like them as pets. They do.
How about that? So I was telling you the story before we started about some hens that showed up at my back door. Mm-hmm. And I made the mistake of feeding these guys, these gals, these ladies. And then I discovered that I shouldn't have done that.
They keep coming back.
They do. And you know what? When I walk across my yard, they follow me everywhere.
They think you're getting feed. So
they are. Yep. And I don't know, they must have good memories or something because they remember my...
Oh, they know where their food comes from for sure.
Boy. Well, I made a mistake, so don't do that. We learn by doing, right?
Right.
Don't do that. Very good. So, okay, so we're looking at May 9th, June 9th. June 9th, a Thursday evening at Wayne Center, downtown Goldsboro, corner of George and Chestnut Streets. What's the charge for this?
It's free.
Free?
Yeah, anybody who wants to come can come.
Anybody?
Yes.
Open to anybody?
Yes.
Particularly people interested in getting into chickens.
Right. Either you've just started getting into chickens or you're still toying with the idea. Come to the workshop and figure out, is it something you really want to get into?
All right. And then later on, will there be other classes?
If we have enough interest in this one and enough interest from the public, yeah, we'll have a more advanced sort of class with more in-depth information, and any sort of questions you guys might have, we can address that in probably a more advanced workshop for sure.
And, I just thought of something else. Do local grocers buy local eggs? Do you know this?
I don't know off the top of my head. I think if you had a big enough supply, they might. And I know a couple of the local stores around here, not necessarily a big chain, but they do have some eggs. I know there's one downtown that has some eggs for sale. So it just kind of depends. And a lot of people just put up a sign in their yard, fresh eggs for sale, and people driving by can see it and buy it. And a lot of people get some good business that way.
Okay, very good. Stephanie, what is your phone number here?
It is 919-731-1525.
Do people need to register for this event, June 9th?
If they could, that'd be great, just so we have an idea how many people to expect. But if it comes June 9th, you realize you haven't called in, just show up.
Anyway.
Yeah,
but
that's
it'd be
fine.
nice to know how many people are coming.
Right.
So if
we
you're
have
interested,
a seat for you.
Right. So we have a seat for you. Don't bring your own chair. They'll have a chair for you.
Right.
But that's 919-731-1525. 731-1525.
Yes.
Stefanie Garbacik is the livestock agent for the County of Wayne's Cooperative Extension Service. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday, the 26th of the month. Let's take a quick look at today's trivia question. Many of you remember, or many of you enjoy the music of a group called Chicago, right? Chicago, one of the big bands of the big brass groups of the 70s and the 80s, and they're still doing things. Very popular, extremely talented. Everybody loves Chicago. Well, the Academy Award winning, I'm sorry, that's not it. Before shortening their name to Chicago, the band was called what? Now, Chicago was in the name, but they had to shorten it, and they had to shorten it. So tell me the name, original name of the band, Chicago. That's our trivia question for today. So if you will allow me to read some of this material for it, because I've got a bad memory anyway, So I'm going to read what these posters here say at the community garden. First of all, Wayne County Public Library has operated the community garden on the grounds of the library since it was established under the leadership of former children's librarian Charlotte Ammons. That was back in 2006. That makes this garden 10 years old. Now, the garden was established as a collaborative effort between the Wayne County Public Library and the Center for Environmental Farming Systems, that's CEFS, and its mission is to grow a community of self-sufficient citizens who are healthier, better informed, and more culturally aware. In the fall of 2011, the community garden at the Wayne County Public Library was dedicated in memory to former and beloved library trustee William Bill Whitfield Smith. The garden remains a valuable cultural resource for its citizens, residents, and visitors. It emphasizes the library's mission to promote an appreciation of our history and diverse cultures and offer community members the opportunity to meet and interact with others in the community. Now, coming up, here's a calendar of things that is going to be happening here at the community garden events for kids. This is June 23rd through July 28th, and each week, that's a 6-week period, and each week they're going to have something different going on here. June 23rd to July 28th, children will get a chance to learn what it takes to grow food. Where does food come from? Okay, fun activities. This is every Thursday from 9 until 10 for pre-K and first graders. And on Thursdays from 10:30 until 11:30 for second through fifth graders.
The first week, you'll be talking about plants. The second week, soil. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it, right? The third week, insects. The fourth week, from the ground up, fruits and veggies. The fifth week, they'll be talking about horticulture and defining what is horticulture. And then week number 6, till then, farms in your future. Okay. Because vegetables grow in this garden are used for educational purposes, please do not remove them from the garden. That's all it says right there. All right? That's a quick look at this board here to let you know some of the things about the history of this garden, the community garden here. And that's a little more information about our community garden here at the Wayne County Public Library. All right? Let's go to our next interview. We're at Wayne Memorial Hospital today, and we're here talking with Mr. Howard Whitfield. And Howard, what in the world, what's going on here?
We are having a wellness walk for our employees today.
Yeah.
It's National Employee Health and Wellness Day,
Of course it is.
May the 18th. And
Right.
so we're offering them some snacks and some water and trying to encourage everybody to get out here and take a walk.
Get out and walk. And we have, in fact, anybody that drives by Wayne Memorial Hospital at any time can actually see people walking out on the sidewalk. We see employees all the time taking advantage of sunny days and good weather and out walking and exercising. Of course, walking is the best exercise you can do. It's the easiest, less...
Easy on your joints.
Easy on the joints, not a whole lot of impact there.
That's right.
But now, I also know you guys have a big walking track here, do you not?
We do,
Don't you have
yes,
a big
sir.
path out behind
We
the
do.
hospital and everything?
Mm-hmm.
How is that used?
Quite a bit,
quite a-
actually, yeah. We had it recently marked with Go and Go, partnered with Go and Go,
Right.
had it recently marked so people would know where to go. And it's not quite a mile, but pretty close.
Pretty close to a mile.
If you want to go take a few extra steps, you can get a mile easily.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk to some people here in a few minutes, okay?
Please
And
do.
maybe we'll take a walk ourselves. How's that?
Absolutely.
Howard
Help yourself.
Whitfield, thank you very much, sir.
Nice
And
to
it's
see you
good
again.
to see you.
Good to see you
Take
again.
care.
Thank you.
What are you doing here? I see a lot of people lined up, and you're getting ready to walk, I take it?
Yes, we
All right,
are.
Tell me about that. What's going on?
Today we're celebrating Employee Health Wellness Day, and I work in employee health, as do these ladies and this lady over here.
All right, lady.
So we're out together to show support for the
Right.
walk for the employees,
Okay.
to show the importance of being physically active and just having a good day.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Now, what's your name?
Hey, I'm Lindsay Wooten.
Hey, Lindsay.
Hey.
Hey, what are you doing now? Are you walking too?
I'm going to walk as well and also encourage more people to come out and walk with us.
All right, that's great. Kelly, what department are you in?
Employee health.
Employee health.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And you?
Employee health as
Employee
well.
health. Wait a minute, where are you going? Run away. All right, one got away over there, though. What's your name?
My name is Linda.
Hi, Linda,
Hi.
and you're in Employee Health.
Employee Health.
I had a
We
feeling.
are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. We hang together. We're
All
a
right,
nice
well, that's
group.
good. That's great. So, ladies, do you walk regularly out here?
We
No?
try
We
to.
We
Yep.
try to. We have the Fitbit that the hospital encourages all employees. We have like a Fitbit community, so we try to encourage each other and keep up with
Okay.
each other.
Do you walk on the track out behind the hospital, or
We
do you
do.
walk the sidewalk, or
We usually walk the
Hospital.
sidewalk.
It's
Okay.
1,800 steps.
1,800 steps?
Yes, for one track around the hospital on the path.
All right, now, is that one step?
That's each step. One,
Is that
two.
okay? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, all right. That's
The
about
goal
roughly
is
5 feet.
10,000 steps a day.
Right. That's
So-
all. That's about a mile.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, no, it's more than a mile. It's 5 miles.
Five.
That's what I meant to say.
Uh-huh.
I knew that.
Yes.
All right. Okay, ladies, get walking. I appreciate you talking with us. Thank you.
very much.
Our guest today in the studio, of course, Crime Stoppers Coordinator Paige Learnard. Hey,
Good morning.
great to have you with us.
Thank you.
I want to talk to you about a couple of things. Before we'll talk about the crime of the week.
Right.
But when we're through with that, I want to talk to you about Crime Stoppers.
Okay.
Just get some general information because it's been a while since we talked about that.
Okay.
And talk about things. All right.
All right.
First, tell us about the crime of the week. What's going on?
Well, I want to talk about a shooting and it happened on May 8th.
Yeah.
Happened about 7:30 at night.
Okay.
And basically what happened was we had a 24-year-old victim who was sitting in his car parked in like the 400 block of North Carolina Street, which is an area we tend to have a little bit of problems in. And he did not see who did the shooting, but somebody started shooting at his vehicle. He was not shot, thankfully, but they did fire rounds into the car that he was sitting in. And so we are hoping that somebody in that vicinity saw something, heard something, knows something, like I say a lot. And obviously, you know, it's still daylight. This is a heavily trafficked area, busy, you know. So we feel pretty sure that, you know, we've got witnesses out there that maybe they have not come forward. And, you know, with me, they can come forward anonymously.
That's
so
right.
maybe they'll feel more comfortable to call the tip line or text the tip line and give us some information about this incident.
And I've heard you say many times that they don't have to have what they may think may be just an insignificant piece of information may be actually what breaks the case.
Right. You know, a lot of times they just assume that we have all the pieces to the puzzle, and, you know, a lot of times we need that fifth piece to the puzzle to kind of tie it up. So the investigators want to hear from them.
Okay. All right, so if you know anything at all about the shooting of this shooting took place on Carolina Street.
Right, 400 block of North Carolina.
Of North Carolina, 400 block of North Carolina. And the date on that again?
May 8th.
May 8th. And the time of day again?
About 7:35 in the evening.
And that's just before sundown, so it was light.
Right.
So if you have any information at all, if you just maybe have seen something, or you may have just suspected something.
Right.
Then that information is needed by Sergeant Learnard at the Goldsboro Police Department and Crime Stoppers.
Right.
So Crime Stoppers number is 919-735-2255. You see it crawling at the bottom of the screen right there. And you can text at 919-222.
4230.
That's what I was going to say. 4230, 222-4230. And is this a crime that would be entitled to a reward?
Yes. Yeah.
And the rewards offered by Crime Stoppers are for crimes for information that's given. And if there's an arrest from that information, then you could be entitled to a reward.
That's right.
All right, and 919-735-2255 or 919-222-4230, 222-4230 for Crime Stoppers. I wanted to ask you about this. Now, Crime Stoppers has been around a long time, and you have an amazing record of catching guys.
Yeah.
And what's amazing to me is that there are still people who do not understand that they can call and give you this information, and you still have no idea who they are.
Right. Right.
Totally anonymous.
That's right.
Now, I want to talk about the money, too. Where does the money come from to pay all these rewards? Because you could pay up to $1,000 for information.
Right.
Where does that money come from?
Well, you know, Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit organization.
Right.
And a lot of people are confused. They think it's a Goldsboro Police Department function. It's not. It's a program that is generated for all of Wayne County. So when I receive information, it could be for something happening in Mount Olive, Pikeville, Fremont, Goldsboro, Princeton. Sometimes I have to shoot it to different agencies around the area because everybody does not have a Crime Stoppers program. So it's a nonprofit. It's run by a board of about 18 members. Those members are volunteers from the community, and several of them are business owners. And they're, you know, that's their passion. And so basically what it is, there's a director by the name of Rick Sutton, and he's a retired officer. His office is actually in the Chamber of Commerce. Each month we meet with this board, and that board, it is their responsibility to raise funds for the Crime Stoppers. And so those are total private donations. So each year, you know, there's two big events. We have two annual fundraisers. We have a new one we're doing. This is the second year of that one, but we always do a reverse drawing, which is held, and that'll be coming up in a couple months. And now we have a new annual fundraiser, which is a gospel sing and comedy night. Last year was our first time for doing that event. This year we're doing the same event, but we're changing it up a little bit, and this is in tribute to Judge Finan. For many of those that know Judge Finan, he was a strong supporter of Crime Stoppers and on the board. And, you know, fortunately, last year when we did this first annual fundraiser, He was already aware of it and already supporting it, unfortunately, when he passed. So with the permission of his family, we've dedicated it to Judge Finan. So this will be our second year. Board's really excited. So basically, when they come on as board members, it's their responsibility to keep the funds raised, to keep new things innovated, things going as far as raising the money from the community. So it's 100% private donations, and it's monitored by them. It's not monitored by the Sheriff's Department. The monies aren't monitored by the Police Department. And basically, I'm the liaison. Although I'm a police officer for Goldsboro Police Department, I'm the coordinator that answers the phones and forwards the tips, and I'm the one that actually pays the callers.
So while law enforcement agencies in Wayne County, whether it's the Sheriff's Office, whether it's the Police Department, whether it's Fremont Police or Mount Olive Police, your jurisdiction is the county, and you're kind of an umbrella for all these organizations.
Exactly.
And I want to stress the point that this money is by donation. There's no tax dollars involved here.
Right.
No tax dollars. This is totally separate from the Police Department, Sheriff's Department, and all these others.
Right.
You provide information that helps catch the bad guys.
Right.
And this information comes from listeners and viewers and people who are familiar with this. Now, you have some people who do quite well with this, some people who live in that environment.
Right.
And they know things, and they get information, and they call you, and they do quite well.
Right. Well, you know, we need the people that live in that environment.
Exactly.
We need them, and, you know, I do have a lot of frequent callers that watch the wanted list, that pay attention to these shootings, that pay attention to these scams that are going on, because they know if it's a felony that it's something I'll give them cash for.
Right.
So as soon as we make an arrest, I can pay them a cash reward. And, you know, some programs and some other entities out there require there be a conviction, and so that's not true with Crime Stoppers. You know, it's just as soon as that arrest is made, as long as it's a felony and it's in Wayne County, it's a Wayne County case, I can pay them a cash reward.
All right. So the number again, if you want to know more about Crime Stoppers, you can text 919-222-4230.
Right.
And if you have a tip to offer, you can call 919-735-2255. And that's only for tips now, right?
Yeah.
That's only for tips. If you need to know more about the workings of the Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, anybody else, call those respective departments.
Right.
They have office numbers. But for Crime
Lots
Stoppers,
of them.
lots of them, 735-2255. And our guest is Sergeant Paige Learnard, coordinator of Crime Stoppers. And I thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us on this Thursday. And a great day coming up today. Some warm temperatures will be in the mid to mid 80s or so, about 85 the expected high for today, and lots of sunshine. Enjoy the day. And in fact, it's going to carry on over into the weekend, so plan your weekend now. Do something active. Be active. Get outside and do something while the weather's nice, all right? Here's an announcement coming from Raleigh. And it's a message that's sent out to all who own vehicles. Beginning July 1, North Carolina vehicle owners must pay their annual vehicle registration renewals before the expiration date or face a late fee. Now, the new fees were passed by the General Assembly last September, and they require 1 of 3 graduated late fees to be assessed on late registration renewals starting in July. Now, the late fees will be added beginning the first day of the month following the expiration date. Those citizens can still operate their vehicles up to 15 days after their registration has expired without being ticketed. Now, registration, that's your license plate, right? That's your license on your car. Now, beginning the first day of the month after the registration expires, you'll be fined. If the registration has been expired less than 1 month, the late fee of $15 will be charged. If the registration has been expired from 1 month or more, less than 2 months, a late fee of $20 will be charged. Late fee of $25 will be charged for registrations that have been expired 2 months or greater. Now, if you're paying by mail, the registration fee is considered to be made on the date shown on the postmark stamped on the United States Postal Service. Anyway, we'll go into more detail about this. Simply that vehicle registration late fees will go into effect July 1st, and the late fee amounts will range anywhere from $15 to $25. Okay? Okie dokie smoky. Again, a quick reminder that tonight, whoops, drop that. Anyway, Reminder that tonight, the Wayne County Veterans and Patriots Coalition meeting tonight at 6 o'clock at the Veteran Services Office at 2001 D East Ash Street. That's the former Nash Printing Company building, okay? Right next to the Senior Center on East Ash. That gets underway at 6, and a quick reminder that it's open to all veterans who want to join. It's also open to all patriots. You do not have to be a veteran, but it's a fantastic organization, and I hope you at least go to this meeting if you're interested and find out more about it, okay? All right, you know, that's just about going to wrap it up for today. It's been great. Hope you have a great day today. More tomorrow, coming up on Friday. Tomorrow, the final work day of the week for many people. Kate will be with us, or Pat, I forget which. One of them will be with us tomorrow. So I hope you have a great day today. Make the most of it. Do something, all right? And until tomorrow, for Pat Garner, for Kate Daniels, I'm Wayne Alley, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.